The engine of Detroit has never been idle. Every day steam rises from the Motor City Underground. Each drop of Detroit Steam Vodka is handcrafted with the same passion that went into the foundation of this city. We will not falter in our dedication to bring you a product that embodies the spirit of Detroit. This is Detroit Steam Vodka.
Chris McCuskey. The Detroit News published 2:37 p.m. EDT, June 15, 2019. Detroit. This isn't a sexy take, I get that. But the truth oftentimes isn't very sexy. And the truth in this case is, there are no villains in the Nick Castellanos saga. The Tigers, as Castellanos has said, never extended a formal contract extension offer. My understanding of the situation is that it was clear from the first informal talks with Castellanos' former agent David Meter that the two sides were so far apart on the dollars that further negotiation would be futile. So, before training camp, the Tigers had all but decided to move on without him. That decision was cemented earlier this season when Castellanos switched agents and hired Scott Boras. Nick Castellanos sees little hope of getting extension with Tigers. You can argue the rights and wrongs of it. You can argue the relative pros and cons of keeping Castellanos as one of the foundations of the rebuilding process. But the reality is, Castellanos is going to be 30 years old when the Tigers, optimistically, will be ready to compete for a title. Sentimentally, this is a guy you drafted and invested nearly a decade in grooming and growing into one of the better hitters in the American League. This is a player who in his heart wanted to be a Tiger for life, like Al Kaline. You'd think he'd be the kind of player the Tigers could anchor the rebuild on. But that's not how this business works anymore. It's way more cold-blooded than that. Always honest. I was thinking the other day about a conversation Jason Beck of MLB.com and I had with Castellanos in a mostly empty clubhouse in Lakeland this spring. We were talking about why the Tigers hadn't made him an offer. He said, paraphrasing, that if the Tigers would throw all the analytics out of the equation, if they just sat down and negotiated a deal based on his heart, his talent and his growth over the past 6 seasons, they could hammer out a deal in no time. And if this were 2014 or 2015, that might have been exactly what happened. But it's not. The economic landscape for free agents, even those still south of 30, has been forever altered by analytical data. Analytics has effectively killed sentimental signings. Teams go into negotiations now with actuarial tables, not only coldly calculating a player's net worth, but also projecting a player's decline. Intangibles aren't factored in. You already know this. No need to cite the examples of players with as much or more pedigree than Castellanos who either signed one-year or minor league deals this offseason, or didn't sign at all until last week.